Last year, Elisabetta Terragni project for tunnels in Trento was shown at the Venice Biennale, and this morning Elisabetta Terragni has told us another history, another story, the story of a new project she's going to make in this period. It's a project for Albania, and now we're asking her to explain a little bit what is it about.
So I presented this morning this new experience, new project that we are working on. We work on the transformation of abandoned infrastructure. We are very interested in this abandoned site. And 2 years ago, we restored this abandoned highway tunnel in Trento, Italy, into a kind of new type, hybrid type of exhibition venue in which history is represented into this very interesting location. And thanks to Abitare and other events, we have been able to really get to a kind of very interesting stage with this project in Trento, to the point that somebody from Italy saw the project and invited us to Albania to check this kind of impossible site in the south of the country, in which a very long tunnel into the mountain, built during the Cold War for purpose to storage missiles and submarines, and to see what we could do with this incredible structure. So we, upon our expertise and our interest in history, we spent time into the space, and we realized that would have been the perfect setting for a Cold War museum and an history of the construction of this tunnel. This tunnel had been built basically during the communist time. Basically they cut off completely a peninsula with the idea to be protected from an eventual invasion that never happened. And so we work in a kind of international team with Jeff Isnat from Harvard University, and for the first time with a great graphic designer that is Daniele Ledda from Milan, and we are working through the net together, and with the idea that the material and the graphic have an incredible role to perform history in this space. We put as a condition in the contract to be able to have access to the archives of Cold War. That it was quite a stressful decision, because the military really had to play the role of the military. So we spent time convincing them, and basically we obtained to have access to these fantastic materials that probably is immense. So it's also film, photographs, and also we are very interested in the speech and the story told by people. So we will also interview people that work in this tunnel, or were people in the military life during the Cold War. And the idea is to transform this tunnel in a quite short time, and to create a new type of historic museum, to stage history in a completely different way, in which the original document is a key point, and at the same time there is a way with all the media and technology to stage these materials on walls, and keeping this kind of abandoned structure as intact as possible. So we will try to work with very few elements, and at the same time to be able to stage this material. The walk-through will be very interesting, because it will partially walking at one certain level, and going back it will be on raft, so it will be, people will float on platform. That is also a kind of way to remind that Albanian people cannot still have a boat or navigate because of the fear after they tried to flee from the country 10 years ago. So in a way there is a kind of a combination of way to experience the tunnel, once on a hard surface and the other one on a soft one. And we hope to, even with this event in 1-2 weeks, to be able to start with the second stage of the project.